Welcome to Module 2 of the Psychology Seminar. Upon completion of this module, you'll better understand how to tailor the Heinz and Goodfriend product story based on the competitive book in use, and you'll get a chance to practice handling objections. The social psychology market consists of about 183,000 undergraduate students. You'll see this class on every college campus that you call on. About 25% of the market uses a brief book, and the remaining 75% uses a more comprehensive text. Brief texts are abbreviated in length and don't get into much detail surrounding each theory. They also don't contain much application. Heinz and Goodfriend is a comprehensive book that will appeal to a larger segment of the market and includes applications within each chapter and individual applied mini chapters at the end of the book. Social psychology is the study of how individual thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by the actual, imagined, or implied presence of others. Most instructors want to engage students through application of concepts and theories. They also want to help students understand the science behind social psychology and how it's relevant to their lives. For this first of three activities in this module, please identify one Heinz and Goodfriend opportunity. Make sure you know the book in use and specific adoption dynamics. You'll need this information to complete this module. Let's recap the Heinz and Goodfriend product features through its story. Within a traditional table of contents, Heinz and Goodfriend present research methods in context. They use innovative case study stories to present the whole picture of social psychology for students. And by making content personal and interesting, this book stands out against classical approaches to the same content. Heinzen and Goodfriend support critical understanding by connecting scientific processes to application. Premium videos are an important selling feature of Heinz and Goodfriend, and one that instructors definitely need to see when considering the book. Students struggle with the amount and detail of key concepts in social psychology. In addition to a key terms definition, Heinz and Goodfriend's visual key concepts offer a visual depiction of the definition and additional context to support retention and understanding. Be sure to ask a few discovery questions to help determine how important these resources might be for your customer. In addition to fantastic resources, you have the Heinz and Goodfriend Case Studies book and the IEB to bundle and grow your business. For the second of three activities in this module, please create a 30-second video of you telling the Heinz and Goodfriend story. Don't forget to make it relevant to the opportunity you chose earlier. The social psychology market is a tough market to sell in, and objections come with the territory. In this section of the module, we'll focus on strategies you can use to handle common objections. Objection number one: changing books is a lot of work. I don't know, it's a lot of work to change books. I understand that. Before we jump to changing books, can you tell me a little bit about your course and your students? Objection number two: price. I don't know, the price of my current book is pretty affordable, and my students surely can't afford anything more. I can completely empathize with that. Can we set cost aside for a moment? I'd like to learn more about the students taking your course today and how you teach your social psychology course. You can also address the price objection by telling the sage choice story. Objection number three: unknown authors. It looks like an interesting book, but I've never heard of these authors. I'm glad you've brought that up. I have a very cool chart that our authors created to thank the people who influenced their own learning and teaching styles. It connects them to some of the parents of social psychology. After I show you this, I'd like to ask you a few questions about how you teach your course. Objection number four: first editions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to use first editions. They tend to have a lot of errors. I can imagine it's frustrating to cover for those sorts of errors as a teacher. Heinz and Goodfriend's print and digital content spent a healthy amount of time in editorial development. I'd love to hear your thoughts on just one chapter compared to the book that you're currently using. For the last activity in this module, let's practice handling objections. Take a few minutes to recall an objection from last semester. Define the objection and then outline how you'll manage it next time. More than half of the competitors in the market were revised within the last 2 years, and the remaining are becoming dated. We've all learned a lot about the competition in our first selling season. Our big takeaway on the competition is that Heinz and Goodfriend has opportunity among many of the books in the field. In this part of the module, we'll identify the best strategy to sell Heinz and Goodfriend against a few of the competitors. Round 1, Heinz and V. Myers. Longtime Myers users tell us that Heinzen's conversational tone, incorporation of pop culture, and emphasis on up-to-date research and theoretical perspectives are very attractive. Against Myers, tailor your Heinz and Goodfriend story to feature its storytelling approach, quality and quantity of resources, and integrated research methods coverage. Round 2, Heinzen v. Baumeister. Your strategy with users of Baumeister should be to tell the Heinz and Goodfriend story, focusing on application and its student-friendly pedagogy that guides the learning process through learning objectives and chapter summaries. Round 3, Heinzen v. Aronson. Aronson is missing important industrial and organizational psychology coverage and a discussion of the experiment replication crisis. Its videos aren't great, and the platform they run on isn't reliable. Tailor your Heinz and Goodfriend story for Aronson users and focus on integrated and cutting-edge research methods and Sage Premium video resources. Round 4, Heinzen v. Greenberg. Greenberg users are really unhappy with the book's resources. There are errors in its test bank and a limited number of test questions available. The PowerPoints are awful. You'll want to focus on selling Heinz and Goodfriend resources. Thank you for all your work this spring. You've closed almost 50% of this book's first year goal. To get this book across the finish line, we need everyone listening to close 50 units this fall. Let's take a look at how we're going to do this. Your fourth quarter strategy is pretty straightforward. Call on every social psychology opportunity. Go in knowing the book in use. If you don't know what it is, let that be your first question. Before you start sharing the Heinz and Goodfriend story, learn something about how the course is taught or student challenges. Share the product story using the competitive strategies you've just learned. We've got a great book in Heinz and Goodfriend. Be confident and persistent.